What's up, everyone? Welcome back to King Anime Review, and for this video, I'll be reviewing episode 252 of Boruto Naruto Next Generations, titled The Desire to Believe. So this episode started off with Boruto, Sarada, and Mitsuki looking for a ship to get to the Mizukage to try to convince him to stop the war against the Funato clan, because that's what Boruto was trying to do. But they couldn't find a ship. They couldn't get anybody to let them borrow a ship or anything. But they ended up running into Kajiki, who was the shipbuilder who he was basically the mentor of Ikada when Ikada was learning how to build ships and stuff. And it was pretty convenient that they found him. So, I mean, it was just pretty convenient and random. But he said he was there because of basically a war started and he ended up stuck there. But yeah, that was the case with that. Not a big problem, but it was just a little bit overly convenient, if you ask me. And then we had a scene where Ikada, he was going through a wave, and he was, steering his boat through a wave and stuff like that, leading the Funato clan into war. Then we had his father thinking about his siblings who had died and thinking about what they would think of Ikada if they seen him right now. And we also got a flashback to basically the father of the Funato clan, Arumi. He basically, it was a flashback to basically how Isuri's little bodyguard or sidekick, that guy who was with Isuri, he basically told Isuri's father that Isuri was going to try to stop the war or whatever. And then Arumi basically said, let Isuri do whatever he wants to. But he also basically replaced Isuri's weapon with the weapon that looked exactly like it. But basically he gave that weapon the order to kill Isuri. So he is obviously the one who's responsible for his son's death. So he killed his own son, Isuri, which is, very evil, is very sad. But he did kill his own son. So he seems to be prioritizing the war and, gaining, more power and influence and controlling the seas. He actually cares more about that stuff than his actual blood family members, his actual kids, which is absolutely terrible. So obviously, yeah, he's a real villain. So yeah, so he's behind his son's death. And then Chojuro, he was thinking about the people who had died and stuff like that, and thinking about avenging them. And then we got a scene where Boruto talked to Chojuro, and at first Boruto was trying to convince Chojuro to stop the war or whatever, but then Chojuro was basically refusing until Boruto said, "Okay, let me talk to Isuri." And he was thinking, he brought up what happened with Kagura. He said, Kagura put his trust in Hebi Ichigo and Buntan and Kyoho, and he said he thinks at first that they probably wanted to run away and stuff like that, but Kagura put his trust in them. And Boruto basically he claimed, like he had a little theory. He claimed that if you put your trust in someone, they'll eventually trust you as well. If you show them that they trust you, that you trust them or whatever. So he thought that he could basically, since he knew Isuri in the past, since he knew, Ikada in the past, he thought that he could, basically talk him out of what he was doing and stuff like that. So, and then later on, he was telling Sarada and Mitsuki that basically when they was questioning him about what he would do, he was basically telling them that he would tell Isuri that no matter how much you change in a short period of time, I still believe you're the same. So he's trying to put his trust in Isuri and show Isuri how much he trusts. Not Isuri, my bad. Isuri died. Ikada. He's trying to put his trust in Ikada and show Ikada how much how much he trusts him. And he thinks that by doing that, something similar will happen to what Kagura was doing with Hebi Ichigo and Kyoho and Buntan. He thinks that Isuri would eventually stop going down the evil path that he's going now. That's seemingly what Boruto thinks. And Chojuro decided to allow Boruto to go and talk to Ikada. And Chojuro, he brought up what happened in the Hidden Mist Village arc of the series, where he basically said, I'm not just putting my trust in Boruto for no reason. Boruto was able to change Kagura's way of life. That's what he told his assistant / bodyguard because she thought, I think it was a female. Yeah, she thought it was pretty. She thought it was pretty dumb, basically, to just trust Boruto and allow him to go talk to Ikada. But anyway, so that's what Chojuro said, and then we got some more scenes with the Funitsu clan heading towards the heading towards the Shinobi. What's it called? Shinobi. That little device that they're trying to change the seas with. So we got some more scenes with them, and then we got a scene where Kyoho and Buntan was fighting. They were continuously fighting Dinky and Iwabe in the rain, and they seem to be very tired and out of energy. But Metal Lee talked them out of fighting. He basically said, what's the point of us fighting right here after everything we've been through and stuff like that? Let's go help Boruto, or let's go meet up with Boruto or whatever. But Buntan said she still wants to kill the Funita. But they eventually decided to just listen to Metal Lee and go try to do something in the war, because the war is still going on. Metal Lee was like, hey, we've been through all this. We after all we've been through in this war, and the war is about to, it seemed like the war is it's still going on, but it seems like it's about to conclude, basically. So, what are we doing wasting time, pretty much? And Metal Lee, he's been pretty good in this arc. I think he's been pretty good in terms of how they've written him. This has been the best arc for Metal Lee, but I still think we need to see him get some power advancement and like see him bust out a new jutsu or something, do some training or something. I don't know if we're gonna see that in this arc, but yeah, that's just the one thing that he's missing. Everything else in terms of his character has been written pretty well in this arc. And then at the end of the episode, it was Ikada and his father Arumi talking to the Funitsu clan, telling them that, hey, we can't let the Mist Village change the seas and stuff like that, and we're gonna crush the Hidden Mist Village. And then Chojuro was talking to, this Hidden Mist Village Shinobi, talking about how they gotta protect the seas or whatever, and they can't let the Funitsu continue to, do the stuff that they're doing, the evil stuff that they're doing. So basically, yeah, the episode ended off with that, them yelling at their subjects, or them yelling at the people who's fighting for them, but basically telling them what their purpose is and why are they fighting. So that's the case with that. And then the episode ended off with a little zoom in to Boruto, Sarda, and Mitsuki. Now Kawaki, he didn't show up in this whole episode, so I'm pretty sure I didn't see Kawaki in this whole episode. So yeah, that's kind of strange that he wasn't even in this episode. I thought he was going to be with Boruto, Sarda, and Mitsuki, but I don't know what he's doing. But anyways, yeah, overall, the music for this episode was great. It was great music, great with the timing and stuff like that. I like the zoom in shot, how they ended the episode and stuff like that. So that stuff was great. The story for this episode was pretty good. I'll give it a 10 out of 10. The only thing I thought was kind of, a little bit, I just thought the beginning of the episode was a little bit too convenient with how they got the boat. But other than that, everything was pretty good. So yeah, 10 out of 10 in terms of story. It was a great way, the story was just great this episode. Nice little setup seemingly to the end of this arc, the climax. So that was cool. And then, so yeah, 10 out of 10 in terms of story. 10 out of 10 in terms of artwork. I didn't notice any artwork or animation errors. And like I said, also 10 out of 10 for animation, because I didn't notice any animation errors. So yeah, overall, this was another 10 out of 10 episode of Boruto Naruto Next Generations. And I believe I forgot to mention that, in the episode before this, Ikada did mention that, since, the Hidden Mist Village, he basically said something about the Hidden Mist Village taking his sister from him. And, that's why he's doing what he's doing now. So yeah, I think I forgot to mention that in my last review. But yeah, so Ikada, Ikada, his character development, although he's been, getting more evil, so he's been kind of like going down the wrong, he's obviously been going down the wrong path, but he still has character development, going from being a somewhat, regular, somewhat morally good character, a regular character, to being like a completely evil character. So he has had some character development, but we got to see if he actually changed for the better after his conversation with Boruto in the next episode. What Ikada said was previously he had kept his distance from battle, but he realized that he was mistaken because the land of water robbed him of the one thing that he cherished the most. And obviously he's referring to his sister. So that's what, you know, led Ikada down the evil path that he's on right now, him losing his sister. And he kind of felt responsible for that because he said like he kept his distance from battle, but he realized he was mistaken. So like I said, Ikada has been very well developed in his arc, very well developed. But hopefully Boruto talks some sense into him and he starts going down a good path instead of going down the evil path that he's going down right now. And so, yeah, that's the case with that. Overall, this, like I said, was a pretty great episode of Boruto Naruto Next Generations. Overall, 10 out of 10 episode. And I can't wait to see the next episode. Or, yeah, I'm about to watch the next episode. You know, I plan on watching the next episode right after this and reviewing it sometime this week. Probably on Saturday, I might have the review out, or I might have it out. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, that's the case with that. If you guys like the video, please drop a like. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and clicking that channel notification bell to be notified on all of my future videos. And drop a comment. Let me know what you thought of the video in the comment section below. And share the video all over the internet. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out. Every promise I've been praying for.